So here's a free kick. Garza sending it inside the area, but it is headed away, and Eintracht Frankfurt controls. Garza held in by Orozco, back to Garza. Montoya to Aguilar, sends it inside the area, and it is covered up by the keeper, Aykut Uzer.
Uzer, a good job. He's been aggressive a couple of times that we've seen, and that one again, one where Orozco potentially getting ready to do some damage, and Uzer attacks him, able to control the ball.
Heen, the center back for Eintracht Frankfurt, has control to Gonsalves in the midfield. Ellert unable to win the ball. Santos controls for Tigres. Fuentes has it. Orozco sends it to the center back, Perez. Ramirez on the left side for Tigres. Aguilar looks upfield, keeps it on the ground, plays it to the feet of Montoya. Swept back to Ramirez on the left side. Diagonal ball to Aguilar, directing traffic. Orozco on the right side sends it back toward the middle. Controlled there by Santos. Campoy on the left wing, chested down, settles it, draws a double team just outside the area, splits the defense, goes down. No call, play on.
Yeah, the referee signaled play on. Tried to split the double team, but a good job by the defense, able to keep him from getting through.
Tigres wins the ball back from Eintracht Frankfurt before they can clear their defensive third. This is Fuentes in as deep as we've seen him. Aguilar now on the right side. Sliding tackle by Ellert. Giving chase now is Demuth. He can't get it for Eintracht Frankfurt. It's out of play and a throw in for Tigres.
And Daniel Ramirez, the guy that took it away from Demuth on the far side. Good sliding tackle. And the one thing that's both these teams being extremely aggressive, neither team afraid of making a mistake that may cost them in a counter. Both these teams going right after the goal.
Yeah, I was afraid we might have a stalemate here in the first half where neither team went on the attack, but both teams appear willing to attack.
Yeah, both teams
looking
have certainly,
for that first goal.
It's been a much more end-to-end game, and especially with the humidity level tonight, it'll be interesting to see how that affects things later in the game and how both coaches decide to use their substitutions.
In terms of possession, the game has kind of swung. Tigres had possession early, then Eintracht Frankfurt had a period where they controlled. Now it's back to Tigres controlling the majority of the possession. Eintracht Frankfurt winning it in the back.
And both teams' defenses have been pretty impressive. Even though there have been some decent opportunities, they've thwarted any really good shot attempts. They've tried to fire at goal, but nothing right on frame that would be considered a real threat to this point.
Schmidt controlling for Eintracht Frankfurt to Zargas on the touchline. Nice little give and go here. Overlapping run by Schmidt. Schmidt trying to split the defense. Lost control of the ball, dispossessed of the 18. He got pushed down. And a free kick coming up here just outside the 18 for Eintracht Frankfurt. And this will be their second.
And just barely outside the 18 when Montoya made contact. And you could tell by his body language, he knew he'd committed the foul. He wasn't trying to knock him off. He was obviously trying to take the ball away, but not trying to knock him off the ball. And he knew that it was a foul.
It's Marcus Schmidt behind the ball for Eintracht Frankfurt. They'll have a chance on this set piece to break a scoreless tie in the 32nd minute.
And this is the best threat on a set piece for either team to this point. Tigres did have one from just outside the 18 on the other end, but it was more in a corner position instead of straight away.
Only the second foul against Tigres. Schmidt drives it on frame, but it's parried over the goal by Ishmael Ruiz.
Schmidt with the 6th shot of the game so far for Frankfurt. Fires, and Ruiz had to make a good play there in order to stop that.
Corner kick coming from the right side. This is the 3rd corner for Eintracht Frankfurt. 4th corner for Eintracht Frankfurt.
You got DeRicci taking his 2nd swing at it.
It's an in-swinger to the back post headed by Heen, and it's a goal kick coming up for Tigres.
And nothing off the corners so far. We've seen 4 corners from Frankfurt, 2 for Demuth on the near side, 2 for DeRicci on the other side, and nothing coming from those yet. No really good attacks on the goal. We saw one header, but really hit very powerlessly and harmlessly knocked away.
So Tigres controls in their own end. This is Aguilar pushing it into the center circle. Playing it to the left side for Santos. Ahead to Campoy, who turns it over in the midfield. Schmidt lays it back for Gonsalves. He's got a man making a run up the right side. Nice job setting a screen there by Perez. Earning a goal kick for Tigres.
And Perez, one of those guys that missed the semifinal because he had accumulated 2 yellow cards during group play and ended up missing the semi back in the lineup. And he definitely makes a difference in the defense for Tigres.
That was Demuth who got screened off by Perez. And now Tigres once again controls. This one will go all the way back into the area, and it'll be controlled by Aykut Uzer. Eric Willie. Ricci with one touch. A battle along that far touchline. Tigres wins possession. Now taken away by Eintracht Frankfurt, but Santos controls for the Mexican side. Open in the midfield is Garza. To Orozco on the right side, poor first touch. Gonsalves has it for Eintracht Frankfurt. Good idea, just didn't work out.
Yeah, he thought Ellert was going to make the run down the middle, and Ellert realized they didn't have the numbers advantage and thought that he was going to hold back with it.
Tigres moves into Eintracht Frankfurt territory. Schmidt unable to take it away from Orozco. Now Montoya turns it over.
Zargas again, the captain, done a great job on a lot of 50-50 balls tonight, just like that.
And wins the balls cleanly. Just picked the pocket of Garza. That's not easy to do.
No, Zargas has played extremely well in the first 35 minutes of this game.
Duda gets it from the keeper, Uzer. Plays it to Zargas. Square ball to Heen. Back to Duda. Finds Zargas in Tigres territory. Given a little space to work with. Lays it back to Schmidt. Chipped back over halfway, headed by Gonsalves. Battle in the midfield. The official says play on. Fuentes put DeRicci on the turf, but Eintracht Frankfurt maintains possession. Taken away by Ramirez. Orozco to Ramirez. To Campoy on the left wing side. Trying to get it to Moises Orozco, but it's turned over to Eintracht Frankfurt. Demuth plays it into space, taken away by Tigres. On the right side, Garza. Laid back for Emiliano Orozco. Abel Fuentes has it. Kevin Perez gets a touch. Deals to Ramirez. Back to Perez. 37th minute, no score.
And both these teams had been extremely aggressive, as we'd mentioned, and we've seen this a few times where Tigres will go into a period of time for a couple of minutes where they'll be very patient, and then they'll go for the deep ball as soon as they see some sort of breakdown in the defense.
And here is a deep ball, headed by Duda of Eintracht Frankfurt. Sent into the midfield. where DeRicci got ahead on it. Willie sends it straight up in the air. And we'll have a throw-in coming up for Eintracht Frankfurt.
And again, we've seen Tigres try that deep ball. That's about 4 or 5 times now they've tried that deep ball into the attacking area. Still both teams looking for their first goal.
Eintracht Frankfurt accelerating into the attacking third. But it is Tigres who wins the ball in the back. And a long ball looking for Orozco, headed by Uzer in the direction of Zargas, who gets it to Schmidt at halfway. Schmidt is taken down by Orozco, and a free kick and a card's going to be shown to Emilio Orozco.
Yeah, that was certainly a very rough foul. Clearly caught him from behind. No shot at the ball.
So a yellow card shown to each side. First for Emilio Orozco and Tigres.
Only 5 fouls total in this game, but 2 cards. And before that, good presence by Uzer to know exactly where he was. And even though he only came about 2 yards outside of the 18, but good presence to just make the header and knock it away before the Tigres offense could finish the attack.
Does Uzer remind you a little bit of Casey Keller, the way he plays goal?
Yes. Yeah, very aggressive, very willing to go out. And it's pretty smart. It prevents a lot of – you don't get many saves that way, but you don't want many saves.
And it leaves you with a lot of nervous moments, too.
Yes, it certainly does.
But he seems to be under control. I'm not saying he necessarily looks like Casey Keller, but just the way he kind of approaches the job.
The style.
Keller, of course, a longtime American keeper, now playing for the Seattle Sounders and still playing well at the age of 40. Not that that's old, Herman.
No, certainly not. And every year it seems less old.
Garza on the right side. Getting pressure from Gonsalves and Zergas. Throw in coming up for Eintracht Frankfurt. Still a scoreless tie in the 40th minute.
Talking about some guys that played well into their ages, the Dallas Sidekicks, and a lot of their guys are going to be honored at halftime out on the field. Gordon Jago, the longtime coach and general manager, who is the executive director now of DallasCup. Well over 30 members of the Sidekicks family will be out there, including Tattoo and Chris Sobieski, David Doyle, a lot of the great names that people know from over the years with that franchise.
Doc Lawson, the indoor warrior, was downstairs, and really played in the heyday along with Tattoo.
Nick Stavro, guy that was around for a long time. Mike Powers, who...
Mr. Defense.
Yes. Played 17 years with the franchise.
Tattoo hasn't changed much, by the way.
No, he really hasn't. Apparently he's playing in an over 40 league now outdoor and seems to really be enjoying it. I'm betting he's still pretty good out there.
I suspect he is.
And he said downstairs that he doesn't take it too seriously, but I don't buy that when they're between the stripes.
I was going to say, I'm sure that's true just before and just after the game. Garza on the right side here for Tigres. Taken away. Winning the ball is DeRicci. Gets to Ellert. Now Schmidt controls. Waiting for some support. Gonsalves will lay it back. Play it to Heen. Pushes across halfway. Heen finds Schmidt on the left side. Nice trap. Back to Zargas. Schmidt trying to accelerate away from Orozco. Moves toward the middle of the pitch. He'll fire. It's deflected. And should be a corner kick. They're going to award a goal kick. I thought that deflected off Tigres.
Yeah, it looked like it caught a piece, but apparently the referee ruled otherwise.
So Eintracht Frankfurt, Montoya has possession for Tigres. Eintracht Frankfurt retreating back into their defensive end. Fuentes gets it to Santos. We're in the 42nd minute. Scoreless tie here. Late in the first half. Crowd kind of waiting on something to cheer about right now. Game's reached a little bit of a lull here. Neither team's had an attacking opportunity in a few minutes. Montoya working in the midfield for Tigres. Finds Garza on the right side. Chested down, settles the ball. Lays it back for Orozco, who turns it over. Zargas takes it away for the German side. Gonzalez side boots it back to Heen. To Duda. The left center back pushes it forward to Zargas. Throw in for Eintracht Frankfurt. .43rd minute of play here in the first half. There's a look at Tattoo. You saw him there on the side with Gordon Jago. Schmidt in the midfield plays it back to Heen. Finds DeRicci. DeRicci plays it to the right side. Demuth has it. Campoy gives up the throw in. Another throw in coming up for Eintracht Frankfurt. Belegu will put it in play. Demuth unable to keep it in play, and now Tigres has a throw in their own end. Ramirez to Montoya, back to Ramirez. Lifts it up the left side. Controlled by Eintracht Frankfurt. DeRicci has it to Gonzalez. Gonzalez switches it to the left side for Zargas. Wide for Schmidt. Draws the double team. Schmidt showing good skill. Puts it inside the area. It goes through the 6-yard box and slices through out of play. Eller was the target on the back post, but it's a goal kick coming up for Ishmael Ruiz. Another look at the service from Schmidt. Ian Eller just missed timing it. Look at some of the fans here at Pizza Hut Park, enjoying what right now is a relatively calm and mild evening. We are under the threat of severe weather, but the wind, this is as calm as the wind has been at Pizza Hut Park throughout the course of this week at the 32nd annual Dr. Pepper Dallas Cup. Right now a scoreless tie in the championship game of the Gordon Jago Supergroup. Tigres trying to change that, moving on the attack. Campos deals it wide. It's sent to the back post, and Tigres has taken a 1-0 lead just as we reach the 45th minute. Moises Orozco scores the goal. Lead for Tigres. Let's take another look. Campoy with a nice cross, and Moises Orozco is there with a perfectly placed header. Not much Oozer can do about this. Played perfectly to the back post and then knotted down into the net by Orozco just as we go into stoppage time. Right at the end of the 45th minute. And the official has signaled halftime at Pizza Hut Park. Tigres scoring a goal in the 45th minute. Jose Campoy assists Moises Orozco, beating Aykut Oozer and Eintracht Frankfurt. So after 45 minutes of play here at Pizza Hut Park in the championship game of the Gordon Jago Supergroup at the 32nd annual